everyone, welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Kira here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous necklace. It only takes about 10 minutes, and you're going to be so happy that you can use simple, fun tools to make your life easier. And I'm going to show you a little technique with one of our cutters to do something a little different. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a tutorial. Come to polymerclayadventure.com to find out what's new in our world, something really big, I promise. And also, subscribe to our newsletter. You can do that right on YouTube or on our website, polymerclaytv.com. And every Sunday, we're going to have a contest. So you can win something fun if you come on over and find out what it is by signing up for our newsletter or visiting the blog. Let's get started. Here you can see I have a collection of tools, including my waffle cutter with a plunger and a teardrop shaped cutter, one of the pink flower plunger cutters, some hot fix crystal, some Pearl-Ex powder, a soft paintbrush to apply it, and a couple of other things like a poker, and I'll show you what this is for when I use it. And I've rolled out some clay. This is souffle clay, and this one is a dark brown color, and then there's like a khaki color. So the first thing I'm going to do is impress the waffle design and cut it out in this piece right here. So I'm going to press my cutter down, give a good press on the waffle, and then because I'm using my Teflon sheet, it released really well. I didn't even need to plunge it out. And now I'm going to take the same one and I'm going to just press it here, but I'm not going to be using the waffle or the actual shape of the cutter. Here. See, that one's stuck. So all you have to do is pop it out. That's why these plunger cutters are so awesome. So for this one, this is going to be a drop, and I'm just going to cut out the center piece here. So that I have the same design on both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to place this on a tile. But for this piece, we're going to do something different today. I'm going to take, I have some little pieces of brass rod and aluminum rod lying around my studio that I had just cut into smaller pieces. So I'm going to actually put this here, and I'm going to create a drop out of this. Really, it's more like, it's like a slider for a necklace. So I'm going to use the rod to form it. Right, and that's going to be a slider. And then the last piece here is going to be this flower. And the flower I'm going to put on here. First I'm going to use my powders though, because I want that to be decorative and matchy to this part. So my intention here, I've got some antique copper powder. I'm just going to use with a soft brush, tap some of it out and put it on here. And for this bottom piece I'm going to leave that part raw because I don't want the flower not to stick. So that's going to go right here. And then I'm going to take a little more powder for this part. Oh. use your finger to highlight high points like on this flower. Because if I were to use the brush, it would go all over the flower. If I use my finger, it'll just stay on the top. And using the same color powder and two different color clays, you can sort of blend it all together. Now, I'm going to put a crystal in the center of that flower, and this is a hot fix crystal, and it's stuck to this background. This is a pencil, unsharpened, that has a piece of that fun tack that you use on the wall to hang posters and stuff, and I use this as a pickup tool for things like crystals. So I can pick it up and put it where I want it, which is right in the middle there. And because it's hot fix, I don't have to press it in too far, but I will press it in and make sure it's sticking. And then use my poker to poke a hole at the top of the teardrop and at the bottom of this slider piece. And now we just need to bake for 30 minutes. This is from another project, but always bake things in groups. Don't bake one thing at a time. So here we go. I'll be back. Alright, my pieces are out of the oven and they're ready for a little bit more embellishment. So what I'm going to do is use my Inka Gold metallic rub and put a little more detail. And this is a paste that you can just wipe on with your finger. So I'm going to do the outer edge of this piece, and it dries fairly quickly. And then I'm going to sort of swipe a little onto the top edges. Definitely do the outer edge of this, allowing some of it to come up over the top. I'm not being too careful because I want it to kind of look old and maybe like some of it has rubbed off with time. So put a little on there. Sort of just mush it on. And it dries almost instantly. Then you can set that aside and do a little assembly. So I decided, since this is a nice chunky thing here, that it's going to go onto a chunky chain. So I prepared the chain by attaching a clasp to one end, and I left the jump ring off the other end because it'll be too large to fit through the hole, so that'll go on last. But to put these together, I'm just going to use some wire and a bead. Copper 24 gauge. You can get it as under the brand Art Wire, and there's lots of different wires. This is by Beadsmith, it's craft wire. I'm going to cut a fairly long piece, about 1.5 feet, and I'm going to start with this piece and just put it through the back of the hole. And then I'm going to use my pliers if necessary, but mostly I'm just going to hand wrap. And I prefer what I call a dirty wrap. So I'm just going to kind of messily wrap a whole bunch of wire around the top there. Then I'm going to slide my bead on. And I'm using a green bead to bring that green color into the mix. And then we're going to go through the front of this piece. and bend it down so that it's hanging as much as you want it to hang down, and then wrap it up. Sorry, my fingers are in the way, but you have to hold on to it to get the wrap started. And I want it to wrap in the middle, so you might need to play with it for a minute to just get everything started. And then just wrap your wire up and down until you're satisfied. And then you can cut it off in the back and tuck it in. One thing to watch for when you're making jewelry with wire wraps is that your wire wraps aren't going to poke somebody in the neck while they're wearing the jewelry. So just watch for putting your wires away, so to speak. Make sure they're tucked in. Alright, and then to finish this, I'm just going to thread this chunky chain through here and add my jump ring by opening to the side, put it on the end, and close it up. See how fun and easy that was? And it only took a few minutes, and it's a really pretty necklace now that you can wear.